Have you ever felt disrespected, even when you've done your best to act with dignity? Have you ever wondered why some people walk into a room and instantly command respect, while others go unnoticed? The truth is, respect is not something you can demand or beg for. It arises from the way you live, act, and think. Today we will explore 5 immutable principles of Stoicism that will help you earn respect from almost everyone, without seeking approval or trying to please others. 1. Stop complaining. Act or stay silent. Every day we hear complaints. Work is too exhausting. Life is unfair. There's never enough time. Money is scarce. Opportunities feel out of reach. But pause for a moment and ask yourself, does complaining change anything? Or does it only deepen our sense of helplessness, making us surrender control over our own lives? Stoicism teaches that instead of wasting energy on what we cannot change, we must focus on what is within our power. One of the most fundamental principles of this philosophy is to never complain about what can be changed. Change it or accept it with equanimity. Think about this. When you complain, you send a message that you are not in control of your own life. You tell yourself and those around you that circumstances dictate your fate, that you are a victim of the world. But the truth is, no one respects a victim. Others may sympathize for a moment, offer a few words of comfort, but if you keep complaining without action, their patience will wear thin, and they will stop taking you seriously. Consider the people you admire. Are they the ones who constantly lament their situation? Or are they the ones who face adversity with resilience and seek solutions? Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher and emperor, once wrote in Meditations, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be, be one." In other words, instead of talking about what needs to change, take action. If you are dissatisfied with your job fight, improve your performance, develop new skills, or seek a better environment. If your health is declining, exercise, eat well, and rest properly, instead of complaining that you don't have enough time to take care of yourself. If life feels unfair, ask yourself, what can I do to change my circumstances? Those who live by Stoic principles do not waste a single moment whining. They either take action or remain silent and adapt. But this does not mean we never struggle or feel disappointment. We are human, and negative emotions are inevitable. The difference lies in how we respond to them. The average person, when faced with obstacles, immediately looks for someone or something to blame. The government, the economy, their boss, their family, even fate itself. But a Stoic asks, what can I do with this situation? What can I learn from it? How can this make me stronger? This is the dividing line between those who succeed and those who forever see themselves as victims of life. Imagine you wake up in the morning to heavy rain, ruining your plans to go out or exercise. An ordinary person would complain about the weather, feel frustrated, and let that disappointment ruin the rest of their day. A Stoic, however, would accept reality. I cannot control the weather, but I can control how I respond. I can train indoors, or I can use this time to read, to learn something new. What is the difference here? One person is ruled by circumstances. The other rules how they respond to them. More importantly, when you stop complaining, you become someone people knowingly respect. Look around you. Those who command the most respect in your workplace, your family, and society are not the ones who complain the most, but the ones who take action. If you are the person who seeks solutions instead of dwelling on problems, people will naturally turn to you for advice, for guidance, for partnership. On the other hand, if you constantly lament over things beyond your control, you'll find that, over time, people will distance themselves. because no one wants to be around a source of negativity. So how do you cultivate this habit? The answer is simple. Every time you feel the urge to complain, ask yourself, what can I do to change this? If you can change it, take action immediately. If you cannot, stay silent and accept it as part of life. This is a skill that requires practice, but once mastered, you will realize that life feels lighter, that you have more energy to focus on what truly matters. There is a principle that all Stoics remember. Remain silent before what cannot be changed, and be relentless in changing what can. This is why they remain calm in the face of adversity, and this is why they earn the respect of those around them. No one looks down on a person who meets life's challenges with quiet strength. No one dismisses a person who acts instead of blaming. Starting today, challenge yourself. For the next 7 days, do not complain about anything. If a problem arises, solve it, or learn to accept it with composure. You will notice a shift not only in how others perceive you, but also in how you perceive yourself. You are no longer a victim of circumstances. You are their master, and that is why people will respect you more than ever before. 2. Keep your promises. Don't just speak, act. There is something we often overlook. Every broken promise, no matter how small, diminishes our own worth, not just in the eyes of others, but in our own minds. We may not notice it immediately, but each unkept commitment chips away at the foundation of our credibility. A person who makes promises but never follows through will eventually be seen as unreliable, irresponsible, and unworthy of respect. Stoics understand that words hold no value without action. Marcus Aurelius emphasized this when he said, "Don't tell me what you're going to do. Show me what you have done." This is a fundamental principle of earning respect. Be a person of action, not empty words. The world is full of people who talk a good game, who make grand promises, but only a rare few follow through and turn their commitments into reality. That is why disciplined, reliable individuals command respect. They do what they say they will do. Consider a simple scenario. You have a friend who constantly promises to help you with something, but when the moment of truth, he always has an excuse to postpone or back out. Would you continue to trust his word? Over time, you would stop valuing anything he says because you've learned that his words carry no weight. The same principle applies when we fail to keep promises to ourselves. Every time we break a commitment, whether to others or to ourselves, we erode our own self-respect. One of the main reasons people break promises is because they speak before they think. They agree to help someone out of guilt or social pressure. They make commitments in the moment just to please others, but as time passes, they realize they either lack the ability or the willingness to follow through. Then they delay, avoid the situation, or come up with excuses. But the truth is, people don't care about it. They only care about what you actually do. Stoicism teaches us that if you are not certain you can fulfill a commitment, don't make the promise in the first place. There is no shame in saying, "I can't commit to that right now," or "I'm not sure I have the time to follow through." In fact, statements like these demonstrate sincerity and reliability, far more than making a hasty promise and failing to deliver. That is why the most respected individuals in society are not the ones who make the most promises, but the ones who make few, yet always keep them. Another crucial principle to remember: keeping promises is not just about honor. It's about self-discipline. When you commit to something, whether to others or yourself, and you see it through, you are training discipline in both thought and action. You are proving that you have control, responsibility, and strength of will. Conversely, every broken promise tells your mind that your words hold no weight. that you cannot trust yourself, and this can create a dangerous cycle. The more you break promises, the less disciplined you feel. And the less disciplined you feel, the easier it becomes to break promises again. Ask yourself, have you ever promised to start exercising, to read more, to learn a new skill, only to delay and do nothing? This not only wastes time, but also erodes your self-belief. When you fail to keep promises to yourself, you feel disappointed, and that disappointment lingers, draining your motivation in every other aspect of life. That is why highly disciplined individuals are not only successful in their careers, but also possess unshakable confidence, because they know they can rely on themselves. So how do you become a person who keeps their word? Start by making fewer promises and taking more action. If you are uncertain about fulfilling something, don't promise it. If you do promise, treat it as a serious duty and follow through. If you have broken promises in the past, make amends by taking action now. Do not offer excuses. A practical way to reinforce this habit is to write down your key commitments and place them somewhere visible. Remind yourself that a promise is not just words, it is proof of your reliability and personal integrity. The most respected figures in history, from Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, to great leaders, all shared one trait. They spoke little but acted much. They did not make promises they could not keep. When they spoke, it was a firm commitment. When they acted, no explanations were needed. If you seek respect, if you want to be a person of influence and value, remember this: don't just speak, act. Don't make promises lightly, but when you do, ensure they are fulfilled. Once you develop this habit, you will find that not only do others respect you more, but you also build an unshakable trust in yourself. And when you believe in yourself, nothing can stand in your way. 3. Unwavering in decision-making. Do not be swayed by others. In a world of constant change, where people are relentlessly influenced by societal opinions, media, and external pressures, the ability to stand firm in one's decisions is a rare yet invaluable trait. Respect is not given to those who waver easily, but to those who have clear principles and do not allow others to dictate their thoughts or actions. Stoicism emphasizes this, that while you cannot control what others think of you, you have full control over how you respond to their pressure. Consider a situation you've likely encountered. You have a clear plan, but upon sharing it with others, they start questioning, doubting, or even criticizing you. You begin to waver, wondering if you are on the wrong path, and ultimately, you abandon your plan before ever truly beginning. This is why many people fail to achieve what they desire, not because they lack ability, but because they allow others to make decisions for them. Stoics teach that if you believe in something, stand firm, unless there is a genuinely compelling reason to change. Epictetus once said, "If you wish to be respected, learn to respect yourself first." This means knowing your own worth and not allowing others to easily convince you to act against your convictions. If you hold a well-reasoned belief, defend it. If you've made an important decision, do not let a few dissenting voices deter you. Look at history's most successful figures. They were not those who constantly shifted with trends or public opinion. They were visionaries, people of principle, willing to stand by their convictions even in the face of criticism. Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, faced relentless political pressures and opposition. Yet he never wavered in his principles. He did not seek validation from others. He focused solely on doing what was right. Resolve does not mean rigidity or an unwillingness to listen. On the contrary, those who are truly resolute know when to stand their ground and when to embrace reasoned advice. They do not change under pressure, but only when careful reflection reveals a valid reason to do so. They are not easily swayed by fleeting emotions or baseless criticism. When you master control over your own thoughts, you become immune to the highs and lows of praise or blame. You no longer feel the need to seek universal approval. You will realize that you do not need others' permission to follow your path. Train yourself to ask this question whenever you feel external pressure. Is this advice truly valuable, or is it merely a personal opinion? If it is an emotional or unfounded opinion, dismiss it. If it holds genuine merit, consider it, but only if it genuinely helps you move forward. This is how Stoics make decisions. They are not swept away by societal currents. They choose their own path, guided by reason and careful deliberation. A real-life example. Imagine you are considering a career change because you believe it is the best move for your future. But when you share your plans with family and friends, they express doubt, insisting that your current job offers stability and that you are taking an unnecessary risk. If you lack resolve, you may succumb to their concerns and abandon your plan, only to regret years later that you never pursued what you truly wanted. But if you stand firm in your convictions, you will not let negativity derail you. Instead, you will objectively assess the situation, weigh the risks rationally, and make a decision based on what genuinely matters to you, not out of fear or a need to please others. Resolve not only earns you the respect of others, but also grants you a life with fewer regrets. When you live according to your values, you will feel more confident, more empowered. You will no longer be burdened by the anxiety of what others think, because you will know that you are walking a path you have consciously chosen. Remember, those who are respected are not the ones who strive to please everyone, but those who remain true to their principles. 4. Guard your time like a treasure. Time is the one thing in life that, once lost, can never be regained. Money can be earned again. Possessions can be replaced. But every passing minute is gone forever. The irony is that while most people understand this, few take real action to protect their time. We allow others to encroach on our personal time with meaningless conversations, unnecessary invitations, pointless meetings, or even requests we have no desire to fulfill. Yet we agree out of fear of disappointing others. This is why we constantly feel exhausted, busy, yet unfulfilled. Stoics regard time as the most valuable asset a person possesses, and they understand that if we fail to protect it, we become slaves to trivial matters. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." This means that most of us are not truly short on time to do what matters. We simply lack the decisiveness to say no to the unnecessary. Our days slip away in hours of mindless scrolling, consuming irrelevant news, engaging in conversations that add no value, attending meetings unrelated to our goals, and at the end of the day, we wonder why we never seem to have enough time for what truly matters. To earn the respect of others, you must demonstrate that your time is valuable. Think about the people you admire most. Do they allow others to disrupt their schedule at will? Or are they individuals with clear principles about how they allocate their time? A person who can decline unnecessary invitations, avoid meaningless conversations, and prioritize what truly matters commands respect. When you guard your time, others will learn to respect it as well. One of the simplest yet most effective ways to protect your time is to master the art of saying no firmly. When someone asks you to do something that you know does not serve your goals, do not hesitate to refuse. Do not feel guilty for rejecting what is unimportant, because every time you say yes to something meaningless, you are saying no to your own time. A practical trick that many successful people use is this. When someone makes an unnecessary request or invites them to a needless meeting, they simply say, "Send me an email about it." You will find that 90% of the time, no email ever arrives because the request was never truly important to begin with. Another crucial principle: never allow others to dictate how you use your time. If you constantly let people demand your attention, you will never have the space to focus on what truly matters. Set clear boundaries when working on something important. Silence your notifications, enable Do Not Disturb mode, and devote your full attention to the task at hand. If someone tries to unjustifiably take up your time, decline politely but firmly. No one has the right to steal your time unless you allow them to. Protecting your time does not mean living a rigid, joyless life without time for friends or family. On the contrary, when you learn to use your time effectively, you create more opportunities to fully enjoy meaningful moments. The key is to take control, to decide how your time is spent, rather than letting others decide for you. Try a simple exercise. For the next week, track how you spend your time each day. At the end of the week, review it and ask yourself, what percentage of your time was dedicated to things that truly matter? How much was wasted on things of no real value? If you find too much time lost to trivial matters, start making adjustments. Say no to the unnecessary. Eliminate distractions that add no value, and refocus on what is genuinely important to you. Those who respect their time are also the ones who earn the respect of others. When you demonstrate that your time is valuable, people will think twice before wasting it. When you master the ability to say no, you create more time to concentrate on what truly matters. And when you use your time wisely, you not only achieve greater success, but also cultivate an image of integrity, someone principled, disciplined, and fully aware of their own worth. Do not let time slip away meaninglessly. Treasure it like the rarest of riches, because it is the one thing you can never buy back. 5. Stop over-explaining. Just act. One of the clearest signs of insecurity is the compulsion to explain every decision you make. When you constantly justify your actions, you not only weaken the conviction in your words, but also send a subtle message that you do not fully trust your own choices. Stoics understand that unnecessary explanations waste time and diminish personal authority. A confident person does not seek permission or approval. They simply act. Imagine declining an invitation because you prefer to read, exercise, or simply rest. If you feel the need to provide a long list of justifications, it suggests you are not entirely at peace with your decision. But if you simply say, "I won't be able to make it today, but thank you for the invite," others will recognize it as a firm choice rather than an open discussion. Certainty in your words reflects confidence, and confidence is the foundation of respect. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, "Be straightforward in speech, decisive in action, and do not justify yourself." This means that when you make a decision, execute it firmly without feeling the need to convince others. The world is filled with people who talk too much and do too little, which is why those who act without over-explaining stand out as both reliable and respectable. Over-explaining not only weakens your words, but also makes you susceptible to manipulation. If someone asks why you refuse to help with something, and you begin listing multiple reasons, they can easily argue against them or pressure you into changing your mind. But if you simply state, "I can't do that right now," there is no room for debate or persuasion. Simplicity and decisiveness are your strongest weapons in protecting your personal boundaries. Look at those who hold real influence. The true leaders. They do not waste time on excessive explanations. When they make a decision, they execute it with confidence and composure. When they decline something, they do not feel the need to please everyone. This is why they earn respect. People do not admire those who try to satisfy everyone, but they respect those with clear principles who stand firm under pressure. One of the main reasons people feel compelled to over-explain is their fear of judgment or misunderstanding. But the truth is, you cannot control what others think. No matter how much you explain, some will still disagree or fail to understand you. So why waste energy trying to convince them when you could focus on living by your own principles? Stoicism teaches that we should only concern ourselves with what is within our control, and other people's thoughts are not on that list. The only thing you can control is your actions, and actions speak far louder than words. Instead of justifying yourself, let your actions speak for you. If someone doubts your decision, do not argue. Simply follow through and let the results prove your point. If you choose to change a habit, pursue a goal, or say no to something that does not align with you, do so with quasi-irritanti. When others see that you do not need to explain or seek approval, they will instinctively respect you more. A simple exercise to cultivate this habit is to reduce unnecessary explanations in daily interactions. When someone asks why you are skipping an event, respond simply, without offering a long justification. Once making a decision, ask yourself, do I truly need to explain this, or am I just seeking validation? Over time, you will realize that withholding excessive explanations grants you more freedom, less pressure, and greater respect. Finally, remember this: you owe no one an explanation for how you choose to live your life. Those who genuinely respect you will not demand that you justify every action, and those who do not respect you will always find a reason to object, no matter how much you explain. So stop over it, just act. That is how you prove your worth without uttering a single word. We often say we want respect, but have we ever asked ourselves whether we truly live in a way that deserves it? Respect does not come from trying to please everyone. It comes from self-mastery, standing by our principles, and taking responsibility for our actions. When I began applying Stoic principles to my life, I realized that most of the struggles I faced stemmed from within: hesitation, lack of decisiveness, an inability to say no, and being too easily influenced by others. But when I learned to protect my time, to stop over-explaining, to stand firm in my decisions, and to act instead of just speaking, I found that not only did others respect me more, but I also felt stronger and more in control of my own life. Most importantly, I stopped letting the judgments or expectations of others dictate my path. When you embrace this mindset, you will come to a simple yet powerful realization: people respect you, not because you try to please them, but because you are someone who knows how to govern yourself. Now, I want to hear from you. Out of these 5 principles, which one do you find the most challenging to apply? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future content. Keep striving for personal growth and elevating your own value. See you in the next video.